So you from Carolina, and you would have Phonte like not on the list at all. Why does Phonte not get love from you when you from Carolina?
You know he gonna go in about Fonte and Lupe, right?
Phonte is. I'll tell you right now. Phonte is one of my top 5 hip hop artists, like
I've
all
met
time.
Phonte. I've met Phonte before. Phonte used to hang out with some of my homies. Phonte and little brother came to UNCG my freshman year, and my homies Reginald and Jeff Black were cool with them, if memory serves. So I've actually had a run-in with them a long time ago. I don't have anything against Phonte. I think if you're going to be reasonable, reasonable, and this is what I mean by reasonable. I say this in all honesty. Do I think there are what? Where did Lupe rank 35th on our list?
Oh, we got to talk about because you put him on the game, man. We got to talk about that. We know.
Games had a better career than Lupe.
No way.
Nah, no way, shape, or form.
Not even close.
But, okay, so this is one of those things that it's like I think people need to understand is that this isn't like a skills list. It's not a skills list. Like
It's
you have
music,
to wear
just music, not even skills. Yeah.
Okay, so Lupe's at 39. Okay. Now me
Wait,
personally,
hold on now. Hold on. Don't go to Lupe yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
we want to stick on the Southern artists. Right?
You want to stay on Fonte.
Let's
You want to stay on Fonte.
We
Okay,
all.
so
Listen,
here's
I'll
my
tell you
thing.
this. I'll tell you
Here's what I was about to say, and this is why I was bringing up Lupe. Lupe's at 39 on our list. Fonte doesn't even have a cool.
So I'll tell
He
you,
doesn't
we
have
review.
Hold on. He doesn't have a Drogas Wave. He doesn't even have a Drill Music in Zion. He doesn't have a Food and Liquor. I just named Lupe's 4 best projects. Fonte doesn't have anything messing with those projects. I'm respectfully. The Little Brother stuff, Minstrel Show, the listening, all day, every day.
Okay, wait. So how does that not count for him? Because that's his.
That does count. Like, hold on. Let me ask you something. This is what I mean about how I'm not biased. The Minstrel Show or the listening? Which one do you prefer? First
the
of
listener.
all, you prefer the listening.
Yes.
I might prefer
I'm the same way.
I think the Minstrel Show is better, but I think the feel of the listening is what you're talking about. It has a certain feel to it.
Yeah.
Compare those 2 projects to other all-time greatest groups' 2 best projects, and tell me like how much gravity I'm supposed to give it. Like
you're talking to the wrong person. He gonna tell you that it's right up there.
No, hold on. Don't talk to me. Don't ask me to. Ask Bryson. Because we rated this on our. Bryson, what do you think?
It's like this isn't Aquemini and Southern Playalistic. This
Well,
isn't
okay. They're not outcasts. I'm not saying
this isn't the infamous or Hell on Earth.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Okay, that's where the gap.
He hates my deep.
It's not that.
Listen, I'm not trying to hate on. I especially don't want to hate on them dead. Okay,
no, this is not the low end theory in Midnight Marauders.
They're not tried.
This is not straight out of Compton and niggas for life. Like it's that.
No, I'm disagreeing there too. Disagreeing there.
You think that the Listen and the Minstrel Show is comparable to Straight Outta Compton and Niggas for Life?
I think Straight Outta Compton is better, but the
Straight Outta Compton is leaps and bounds better.
I never listened to Niggas for Life.
Yeah, exactly. I don't listen to that.
I don't listen to Niggas for Life, but that's just like because like I'm usually with my kid in the car. but when people talk about Dr. Dre being the greatest rap producer of all time, Niggas for Life is the first piece of evidence. It's the first time Dr. Dre's all-time great. Like, as in, like, oh no, these beats are better than the beats other people are making. Straight Outta Compton's not like that. Easy Does It's not like that. Even No One Can Do It Better by the DOC ain't like that.
No, that one is. I think that's the best.
Not beat-wise. Beat-wise, he's showing some promise, but it's not like the production on Niggas for Life to me. Not from end to end. Beat-wise,
I gotta give Niggas for Life another spin, man, because I feel like No One Can Do It Better is.
I love the DOC. I love No One Can Do It Better. What I'm telling you is that beat-wise, try to look at it from the
The DOC should have been on the top
content and bar-wise.
Southern rappers. DOC should have been on the top Southern rappers.
DOC doesn't have enough to qualify, fam.
I mean,
He's got that. He's literally got the one album, and he's got nothing else to give. It's the accident. I know it's the accident. And here's what people have to understand too: if the DLC don't get into this accident, probably Snoop's career is not the same because the DLC is probably rapping on the Chronic.
that's
Right.
true.
For sure.
And how?
For sure.
And why do we? Okay, see, I feel like
But you're right.
for-
DLC is from Texas, and he just deserves some more Southern love in general. We label him with Dre and with Snoop,
with the
so he
West Coast.
automatically gets the West Coast tag. But if you see My Glove interviews, you know he was breaking down the whole Texas to Compton connect and Cali connect and all that, like before niggas was even like superstars. So.
Yeah, but what? So because with the DLC, like if so with Biggie, he
I
died
want to
2
finish this
albums.
Phonte thing.
I do
Hold
too.
on.
Yeah.
I do too.
He will.
I do
He
too.
will.
But with Biggie, he died after 2 albums, and we give him, top artist of all time, top 5 all time.
High marks.
DLC, he got in an accident after 1 album, and it's like he don't get none of that. He don't get that same kind of boost.
Okay, so
His album didn't get those same highs. I feel like he didn't get those same radio hits and that other stuff. I mean, that Biggie had on his first album. So
he just didn't have
he's
the
not
radio hits. That's the issue.
well, I don't think that's
it's-
the only thing, but I think that's a big part of it.
I think that's a smaller thing, possibly, but here's just the reality. This is what I'm saying. Even with the whole Phonte thing, we about to circle back around. Well, as much as I love No One Can Do It Better and Old Baldy, you probably feel this way too. It's like that's not ready to die or life after death.
It's not ready to die. Life after death, I think is honestly.
I think you overrate
overrated.
Life After Death.
You overrated. Ready to Die is my favorite Biggie.
I like
album.
Life After Death. I like it. I like it a lot. I just don't.
I'll tell
I don't love it.
How
Like
about this? How about this? I think the only rap album that I've heard with as many highs, his Life After Death is All Eyes on Me. As in the full completion of the record literally being not completely out the park. So is it the end-to-end masterpiece that a Purple Tape is? Or a Low End Theory? Nah, it's not that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that regular MCs can't make Kick in the Door, or they would.
But you
regular
MCs.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Regular MCs can't make 10 Crack Commandments, or they would. Those last 4 songs at the end of Life After Death, nobody's ever ended an album that strong. And so some of the highlights of it, I mean, think about even some of the stuff that's like meant for radio. It's like he literally did make a song called Fucking You Tonight and pull it off and get it on the radio. Like What's Beef, the bar style on What's Beef, the intricacy of Niggas Bleed, the entertainment value of I Got a Story to Tell. No, the highs make your nose
I
bleed,
hear what
man.
you're saying.
Yeah. I'm not saying that DOC is a better rapper than Biggie. That's not my point. I'm just saying that DOC is super dope, but he just doesn't get. I feel like he doesn't get the bonus of, I got an accident.
So it's not just that, but with Big, you have to understand, it's not just the albums. I'm going to tell you what, there are days that I go on a Biggie run without putting on Life After Death or Ready to Die. Those guest appearances, Dumb It Down, Bryson.
And you hear those songs all the time. You can't never forget Big because, like, you just go walk down the street and you're going to hear one of his songs.
And that's really where the staying power of it is. People, you can, whatever you may feel about Life After Death, whatever some people may feel about Ready to Die, or vice versa. Oh, there ain't no knocking, Can't You See? You Can't Stop the Rain. Only You and the Only You remix. What's the 411 remix? Dolly My Baby. The J joint. Being on Brooklyn's Finest with Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, the Crush on You hook. Get Money remix. Play His Anthem. These are records that aren't on Life After Death or Ready to Die. The original version of Who Shot Ya? I know it's remastered on Ready to Die now. That's not on the real version of Ready to Die. Dreams is not on the real version of Ready to Die. Party and Bullshit. Listen to all the Biggie stuff that's not on an album. That's what the other MCs who have a dearth of content comparable to his are lacking. It's not only the fact that his albums are better, it's the fact that the guest appearances are all pretty epic. The R. Kelly guest appearance, the Michael Jackson guest appearance. It's like while he was here, fam, he had about a 3-year run. You want to talk about like a work ethic? I mean, he literally made Ready to Die. He made the Junior Mafia album, and then he started working on Life After Death. And in between it is just some of the most scintillating guest appearances ever.
And he wrote Kim's too, right?
And he wrote hardcore. Or at
DOC
least
should get the writing credit for the stuff he wrote. You know,
he wrote the parts of hardcore that, quite frankly, I love the most. Queen Bitch, that's my record. Like, you know what I mean? That's my Kim record. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to hardcore now, that's the record I play first. Like I go skip all the other records. I go play Queen Bitch, then I run back. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. The DOC deserves credit for helping write the Chronic and for teaching Snoop what bars is. But that ain't like spitting, on the Get Money remix. That ain't Frank White, the Desperado. Used to rock the all black bravado. That ain't the same. No, It's not the same when Big coming off like that.
Yeah,
so it just is what it is.
With both All Eyes on Me and Life After Death, and I want to go back to the Phonte, but I just want to say last thing. I think they both have the same issue to me, is that I don't love all the radio stuff as much as I love the other stuff, and both are double albums that have too much songs that I could skip to me. So
I feel like the problem with both of the albums is, quite frankly, they tried to appease the women too much on both of those albums. And they should have just trimmed the fat on appeasing the women some. Not saying that you can't. Like, I love How Do You Want It and Wonder Why They Call You Bitch. But some of the other records, it's like, they could have kept some. So I would agree with you on that. But then, and here's what I would submit to you all, and think about this. Those big records and those Pac records we talking about that like ain't like that, go back and listen to those records. And go listen to the stuff that we listen to now. Tell me those guys aren't top 10 still. Easy. It's easy. Like, if you look at it from that regard, if you want to go listen, not the fly shit, not No More Pain or Ambitions as a Rider. No, go listen to the bottom 3-4 songs. And then go listen to what we listen to now, and then go listen to those bottom 3-4 songs.
No, I hear you. I hear that.
All Eyes on Me and Life After Death ain't gonna seem as bad to you then. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
All right, defend your man.
Okay, Phonte, man. Phonte, listen, this dude.
Yes, please. Defend Phonte No Classic solo album having catalog. Defend
solo. Okay, hold on. When we talk about solo album, number one, the first Foreign Exchange. That's mostly. Well, I mean, there's other people on the album, but that's a dope album. That's a classic album. Connected. Every song in there is great. He's singing and stuff too. He's got singing songs in there too, but
I don't think it's a classic, but I do think that it's great. I'll concur with its greatness. I do not concur with its classic nature.
Okay, all right. Charity Starts at Home. I love that album. I think that album's classic. I think all of the songs on there, and he's rapping on a top-notch level on that album. When you talk about Everything's Falling Down, or songs like that, I don't know many people who can rap better than Phonte. He's got punchlines just that are dope. Hard hitting punchlines, cool flows. He can sing. I mean, he's he's funny too while he's doing it all. Like, he makes me actually laugh while he's doing all that stuff. And then
he makes me chuckle. He does. He's insightful.
And then he'll have albums like on his other album. What's the other one called? No News is Good News. Right. Yeah. He's got songs like Expensive Jeans, where he's talking about health problems. And that's stuff content that nobody else is talking about. Is original. He's still got bars. Songs like So Help Me God, bars. And then that's not including all of his Little Brother stuff, all his Little Brother mixtapes. You can't tell me many people can rap better than Phonte raps on Tension, right?
Oh, okay. See. I like your analysis. And here's what I will tell you in all fairness. There's nothing about your analysis that I'm going to disagree with, because you're spot on about those things. I don't think it's reflective of the total picture. And part of why I set up the criteria for this list the certain way that I did is that, and not about you, but I'm trying to get our audience as a whole and a good core that follows us to understand that some of the things that you think matter, there are other things going on that matter just as much, that we really need to start addressing with the same level of ferocity that we do about some things. And so although all those things are correct, okay? And I'm saying this respectfully, because everything that you're saying is correct. Well, Phonte's voice isn't like that, and that's why I've been echoing this whole voice thing this year. A lot of people lyrically say the types of things that Nas and Rakim say. You listen to it more because of the voice. It's just a fact of the matter. There have been plenty of dudes from Brooklyn talking this Playboy shit that Biggie talks. Biggie's voice is better, fam. You know what I'm saying? It's just a fact of the matter. Slick Rick's greatest album, which is one of the greatest rap albums, starts off with a song called Treat Her Like a Prostitute. He's not getting away with that without that British accent. Okay?
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? Snoop's voice, the first time you heard Snoop's voice was the first like truly like unique out of this world voice. Didn't sound East Coast or West Coast. It's like, who the fuck is that? It's like, man, he sounds silky on the mic. Voice matters. Phonte's voice. Listen to the dudes that I'm about to name. Listen to some of the guys that are on this list. Nas, Rakim, Tupac, KRS-One, Ice Cube, Snoop, Biggie, LL, Scarface, Ghostface, Raekwon, Common, Chuck D, Method Man, Black Thought, Slick Rick, Jadakiss, Big Daddy Kane, DMX. No, his voice ain't like that. Dumb it down. Prodigy. No, his voice ain't like that. So that's the first thing. Oh, no. I'll let you submit. I'll let you submit the criteria. So the first thing I want to submit to you is that the voice isn't like that. Voice is a big separator when you are the type of MC that he is, which is a traditional lyricist and conceptually driven artist. Okay? The voice matters. That's why I highlighted Nas and Rakim first. Oh, lyrics and conception, it's like, oh, well, how about those two guys? It's like, and you've even said this, and I've even agreed with it. Lupe is beyond Nas and Rakim conceptually and lyrically, but nobody thinks he's better. Guess why? It's the voice, fam. It's the voice too, fam. It's the voice. No, it's the voice. It's the voice. They don't give it to him because of the voice, because they don't listen to Lupe as much, because he's not as enjoyable vocally as Nas and Rakim are. It's just the way that it is. So Phonte's voice is.
I can't agree with that.
See, it's interesting.
I can't agree with that.
You hold on. You think Lupe's voice is on par with Nas?
No, I just don't think that. Well, Rakim, I think has a better voice. I agree with that. I don't think Nas' voice is particularly fantastic. I wouldn't rate his voice higher than like any of those MCs that you named.
Yeah, Bryson, do you think Nas' voice stands out?
Like he has he has the crispest voice on the mic maybe we've ever heard. It's piercing. That's part of why it's so
Yeah, his voice is very unique, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I love Nas. I'm a huge Nas fan. Seen him live like 5 times, but I don't think that his voice.
You don't think the voice is like that? See, I feel that way about.
I don't think it stands out over any of those other MCs you named on that top 20 you just went through over.
I don't see a big difference between his voice and Phonte's voice. Like, you know, like I wouldn't.
I don't either.
Nah, Nas sound different. I think.
Yeah,
maybe it's because he's so big in my mind, but he sounds different to me.
Well, hold on.
I think the way Nas came out was like a meteor that hit, and so even on his first verses was like he was saying stuff I never heard before.
But it's the way that that's what I'm saying. Like there was a magazine that described his voice as like, remember the sewing machine, the Singer needles? Remember when machines they described his voice like that, and I think that's the most accurate description of his voice. Nobody has that. All the other dudes don't have that sewing needle, stabbing, piercing nature where it's clear and articulate. Huh?
That's flow and cadence, though, isn't it? I mean,
I don't know if it's cadence, because Nas really wasn't like a cadence rapper early on. That's more Big and Pac thing, is using cadence. Like Nas didn't have a cadence.
I think he's definitely a cadence rapper.
All of Illmatic, his flow is
Verbal Intercourse is all about cadence
stuff. Yeah,
and
Verbal Intercourse is all about cadence. That's 1995. That's not Illmatic. That's not the guy. Right. Yeah, and that flow is different. The flow on Verbal Intercourse, he doesn't have one flow like that.
No. Right.
Not one flow like that on Illmatic. It's
not. But I mean, Illmatic got. I mean, not like New York State of Mind, but so many of the other songs, I feel like the flow is so immaculate. Like, So I mean, when I think about Nas, I think about technical proficiency more than his voice. I mean, I feel like he's and always has been. When other people, like, there was no Lupe, and Nas was like, out here doing like stuff that Rakim hadn't done, I guess, at that point.
I would equate him vocally in terms of like the sharp, like Minnie Riperton, Denise Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That's who he would be to me as a rapper. It's so piercing when he hits his notes because it's sharp. It's not a Shaka Khan deep bellow. It's not an Aretha Franklin. It's that Pierce. It's that Minnie Riperton, Denise Williams type of thing. Would be the best way I would contextualize it. But what I'm saying is it's something that his voice is something that's identifiable for its times out of the crowd of people. I don't know if Phonte's voice is that identifiable like that. As in, like when Nas comes on, everybody knows that it's Nas. It's always been that way. It's never been that way for Phonte. So the voice does have something to do with that.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
I agree with that.
How about this? Let's go to DMX. We know who he was the first time.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about, though. It's like Phonte doesn't have that. Most of the people on this list have that in some sort of fashion.
I agree that. But is so that's one aspect? Is that one aspect? Or you got other things on the list?
There is something else that I'm about to discuss, but I just want people to understand it. And this is like revelations for me too. As people understand that I'm constantly evolving with this, and so my opinions and what I feel the truth about it is ever changing because the truth is ever changing. So the more that I understand, the more that I can see some things clearly. And so when I think about some things, it's just like rap. Voice can't be the most important thing in every other genre of music, and then we step over into rap and be like, no, voice don't matter like that. It's like, no, it matters the most almost everywhere else. We have to start being fair with how we're grading the music. This
genre is the wordiest genre, whereas other genres aren't super wordy. Lyrics aren't as important. Our genre is the wordiest, and so lyrics can overtake voice, in my opinion.
See, okay, so listen to what you're saying. It's not that lyrics can overtake voice, it's that lyrics have already overtaken voice, but we need to provide it with some balance because that's really not how the rest of music works. And so listen to what I'm saying. When you upgrade the lyrics so high but take the voice down, well, you're changing the musicality of it. Now you were saying having a voice that is impactful doesn't matter as much. That literally goes against how music works. Vocally. Think about James Brown. Is he the best singer in the world? No. His voice is impactful and it's different. Think about this.
They had dope beats that people didn't have though.
Yeah.
Right. Listen to what I'm saying. Like, wasn't Eddie Kendrick from the Temptations?
Yeah.
Oh, he sang a falsetto that Prince and Michael Jackson can only pray to, but who's bigger and better and badder? You feel what I'm saying? It's like.
So then what about Phonte singing? Because he sings. He sang from, I mean, even the jokey skits that he's singing on.
I like it singing.
Yeah,
and I'm going to give, but here's the thing about it. It's like, well, we don't walk around here and give CeeLo extra credit as a rapper for singing.
I love CeeLo. We can talk about CeeLo.
You don't have to take the man. Look, Phonte did it first, and somebody else like Drake took his stuff basically or did what he does and does it bigger, and that always happens for the person that does it first.
Now, Drake,
the person that does it first don't get the same credit as the person who does it second or third, and I think that's what it is. So I think like you hear Phonte. I thought when they came out with their first album, it was like a revelation for me. But I was in college at the time, like so the album was exactly for me basically. And so I love Phonte, but I can't put him over, some of the other people that you put him over, just because I don't love his other stuff as much as those first couple 2-3 albums.
Yeah, I was in middle school. It wasn't made for me, but I still love it. And Bryson was younger than me, and he still loves it. So
can I